Did y'all hear about that 16-year-old that unalived her mama yesterday? Baby, 16. And from the looks in their videos and stuff, you would think they was locked in. I'm talking about you would think they was locked in. So I'm on Facebook scrolling and I come across the news clip. So the neighbors say that she was outside checking her mail. She heard a lot of yelling, like screaming, and then she heard 5 pew pew shots. The police say that the little girl took off. Like after she pew pew her mama, she took off or whatever. When they got there to do the investigation, she wasn't there. But then she came back and she got apprehended and she's now in the juvenile system. But my whole thing is, what'll make you do that? Like on the internet, they looked it perfect. And that is why I don't go off nothing I see on the internet. Because nothing in my life, and I done been through a lot of things with my mama, nothing in my life has ever said, you know what, go ahead and take her up out of here. So I'm just trying to figure out what happened. And all her friends on Facebook, they sending her condolences saying how she was a good mom. She took care of them babies and she was just an all-around good person. So I'm just trying to figure out what happened. But we're going to have to wait for the little girl to start speaking. But did y'all hear?
That 16-year-old TikTok girl, Renaya, who's viral for saying how she'll Swiss cheese somebody, is the exact reason why my 13-year-old son is homeschooled today. Because y'all take these kids just growing up, growing pains. Hell nah. Check on their mental state, their mental illness. I'm in his room every second checking on him. Going through his phone every second checking on him. Because at the end of the day, that's the shit that happens. They're not mad at the world. They're not mad at all these people and kids with Nike Tech and all this bullshit. They're mad at the parents who don't live up to their imaginary expectations. These outlandish expectations. The shit that they see on TV. Wake the fuck up and stop glorifying these little ass kids on social media. And that's why I'm like, they should take TikTok away because this is too fucking much.
So I wanted to touch on the subject of the 16-year-old who unalived her mother in Galveston, Texas. And the reason why this story is so intriguing to me, because at one point, me and the mother, Tia, were Facebook friends. I do not know her personally. As I stated, we were Facebook friends. And I'll be honest, right off the rip, she caught my attention because she was such a young mother and she had a nice amount of children. I believe like 5 or 6. Before the age of 30. And one thing I do recall from being friends with her on social media is she seemed to be very like into relationships. And the reason I bring that up is because I recall at one point, like with one of the children's dads, she tattooed his name all over her body just to find him. She ended up finding him in bed with a crackhead. Then I think at one point she moved to Boston to be engaged with some guy. And all while this was going on in the back of my head, and again, this is just what was posted on social media, I would always be wondering, like, where are her children? Like, this is a lot of moving around and relationships going on when there are so many children involved. And then even if you go to the little girl's social media page, she is on there turned up. Tattoos, getting high, the whole 9. You wouldn't know you was looking at a child's page. And I say all that to say there definitely is something more to this story. I don't think this was just a rebellious teenager that unalived their mother. I mean, yes, to an extent that is it, but I do believe there's a backstory. And I hope and pray that this little girl gets an opportunity to tell her story. But it's unfortunate, whatever her story is, it was selfish to take your mother away from the rest of your siblings. Now they have to go through life, hopefully not being displaced and scattered around. And God knows what only the future holds for them if they don't have the proper people in their lives. So it's very unfortunate for everyone involved, and my prayers go out to them in the most sincere way.
Did you hear about the mom in Texas who was shot and killed in her own home by her 16-year-old daughter? Neighbors called the police on September 11th after hearing screaming and gunshots coming from the home of Tiamoya Deshandra Moore, who lives in Galveston, Texas. When police arrived, they found the 34-year-old unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds to her body. First responders rushed Deshandra to the hospital in critical condition as police officers questioned neighbors who identified Deshandra's 16-year-old daughter as the shooter. Neighbors say the teenager shot her mother at least 5 times before she fled the scene. Unfortunately, shortly after reaching the hospital, Deshandra died from her injuries. Deshandra's daughter later returned to the crime scene where the police were waiting to arrest her, and she is now being held at the Juvenile Justice Center. Deshandra was a well-known hairdresser and nail tech who gave birth to the child who ended up murdering her when she was just 18 years old. She went on to give birth to a total of 5 children, all of whom are now without a mother. There is no official word of a possible motive for the shooting or any idea how the 16-year-old got a gun, but they do live in Texas. Neighbors believe there was a raging argument between the mother and daughter, which led to the daughter shooting her mother more than 5 times. What do you think can cause a 16-year-old to shoot and kill her mom? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tiarka with the T. Follow for more.
I don't know what's going on with these children that is unaliving their parents. This story is out of Texas. She was 16. Her and her mama did TikToks together. This little girl was living a life. It didn't give off. My mother don't do nothing for me. It didn't give off triflingness. It gave off that her mother was a good parent. After she unalived her mother, she did leave the scene. But as the police arrived, she showed back up and she went to a juvenile detention center or whatever the case may be. But I bet you it was something dealing with taking that phone, or she could go to a party or go with a little boy and be hiding the ass, something. But what will make you want to take a weapon and unalive your mother? Your mother. The neighbors say they never seen nothing else, bad going on over there. She did hear some yelling, and then she heard a pow, pow, pow. And after that, the police come. But, baby, you're so young, and you got to live with this, what you did to your mama. Your life will never be the same. Never. Y'all be careful disciplining these children. Something is going on with our children. I don't know. Just pray and pray hard. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed, J-Lo.
Hi guys, how are you all doing? Let me hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and if you're new, you're welcome. Please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions down below, and please share the video. So guys, it is very sad that nowadays kids can do such things. Can you imagine a 16-year-old, taking her mother's life, leaving behind 4 more kids without a mother? There are so many questions to ask here. It's crazy that the world has come to this extent, to this level where even kids can have access to weapons, can have access to things like these guns, But as you can see in the videos, it seems she was a laid-back mom, my kids, those kinds of moms who think that their kids are their friends. We should really address that. Your kids cannot be your friends unless they are grown, or maybe you try to bring the friendship back and all that. But still, even when you're grown, I feel like there's something about motherhood or parenting, like mother and father. There's no way you can be at that level of friendship. If you are, well and good, but raising your kids, especially if you want to straighten them up, there's no way you're gonna make them your friends. They can't be your friends. How are you gonna correct them? Because usually when someone is your friend, you don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't know, you try to think about how you can correct them and all that. It's not easy to parent in this way, treating your kids as friends. It's not easy. It's not, usually it will bring out the worst results. I'm not here to judge the little girl. We don't know the story behind. She has a story to tell, but either way, whatever her story is, she didn't have to take her mom's life. I've heard people say, oh, it's because she didn't want her to have a boyfriend or this or that. Still, either way, she didn't have to take her life. And how did she even get access to this weapon? That's all for today, guys. I just wanted to let you know about this news because it's crazy. See you in the next video. Bye.